And good evening, everybody. Welcome. It's Sunday night. Y'all know it's Sunday night. You know what that means. FRR Cup Series racing. Tonight, we are at Watkins Glen. Yes, sir. Another road course. More right-hand turns tonight. We are at Watkins Glen. Tonight, I got a special guest joining me with me tonight. Good friend of mine. Really good friend of mine. Owner of Gas and Go Racing League. Nick, 2019 champ, in the booth with me tonight. Nick, how you doing tonight, my man?
Man, I'm glad to be back up here, and I am, like I told you before, I'm all the way down here in the inner loop, and boy, I wish I was in that air conditioning, but you know what? I got my little umbrella hat on with my headset on. I'm enjoying it, dude. I've got some sunblock. I'm all good.
And I'm sure you got your cold beverage and everything else. Yes, sir. I'm staying up here in the air conditioner, man. I got that sun. I can only take so much sun, but yeah, that's right, man. We are at Watkins Glen tonight, man. Last week we were at a road course. We were at Canadian Tire last week. Typical dominated at Canadian Tire. These guys are just finishing up qualifying already. Here in the next couple of seconds, they'll be finished up qualifying. And knock on wood, we did not get any of those lag showers. And I just realized, looking at my screen, I forgot to put the comments on the broadcast screen. So now I can't see anybody. So I'll have to flip back and forth when y'all out there in YouTube land make comment. I'll switch back and I'll make sure I get it, because usually I put them on up there and everything. So kind of getting everything right. But usually we've been getting lag showers and everything. We've been having trouble with lag, but knock on wood, we got through qualifying real quick, real easy. So we'll be getting into the race real quick now. We're so Nick, I know that we'll talk a little bit more as the race goes on. I know you just started your own league, Gas and Go, which is a slider league, and you have been racing the new 2022 next gen cars yourselves, haven't you?
Oh yeah, our initial thought was when we first saw the process, we were like, okay, we're gonna run Xfinity because Xfinity handles a lot more better. And then a lot of people, actually Maddie, my admin, he's like, why don't we run the next gen cars if y'all, because we're basically everyone's switching over there. Why don't we do that? I was like, let's run it. Let's try to get multiple people to get the next gens. Let's get a lot of these guys to participate, and we'll see where we go from there.
Well, what are your thoughts on these next gen cars? You liking them? Or you're getting used to them? Has there been an adjustment period getting used to them, especially here at road courses?
Oh, I love them. I love them because certain tracks I can run perfectly fine. I've been hitting good lap times at times, but on road courses, I haven't ran as much road courses, but it's so hard to get used to now going into that fifth gear now, especially at Watkins Glen, where you got usually back on heat, not heat, but on the other cars you could only shift to 4 gears. Now you got to shift to 5, and it's a lot better and smoother. And I've told multiple people, I'm like, go inside the cockpit view. It sounds just like the car sound from back in 2007 or 2008 to 2009 when it has that same similarity sound. And I'm like, how did no one catch that? Because it sounds just like that. And like I said, I love the cars. They're great. I mean, it's wonderful. But I did run Bristol Dirt with a couple of the guys in our league, and I'm telling you, I am not a Bristol Dirt guy, but I sure as hell got a good lap time in. I think it was like the very first time, and I hit a good lap time in. Unfortunately, that was supposed to be on our schedule. We took it out because who the hell wants to run dirt? Obviously no one. So I'm still getting used to them. I'm still getting to used to them.
Yeah, it's going to take an adjustment period for me also. These guys here at FRR Cup, I tell you what, they've gotten adjusted to it because they've been having some awesome races. Typical has really been dominating. I don't know if you've been able to catch the races during the week after on Sundays or not, but the typical has just been dominating the races for most of the season, and of course, the three-time defending champion Favre is second in points and has won quite a few races himself. Flash, he's always up there. But we're gonna see how this shakes out tonight at Watkins Glen, because Watkins Glen, man, we ran the FRR Xfinity. We ran there last night. Had a really good race there. It was a really good race. Went caution free. But it was a really good race. It's such a fun track. It's probably I think it's the funnest of the road courses myself. I think it's one of the funnest of the road courses. But with road courses, man, anything can happen, So I'm hoping to see some of these guys that there's been a couple of guys. Hick Ross, he drives the 18. You're gonna see him tonight. He's been having an excellent past month and a half or so. Dime Bags, he drives a one car. He's been having an awesome month as well. So you got some guys that have really been taking on to this new next gen car and have really been turning it on. So I'm thinking that and of course there's you got your road course ringers. The one in particular, I mean, of course, Typical and Favre, Flash, those guys, they're road course ringers. They're champions. That's why they're champions. That's why they got hardware sitting on their mantles. But there's one road course ringer in particular that I'm looking forward to seeing tonight. Always on a road course is Shovelhead. Shovelhead is one of the best road course racers on Heat 5 in the game. He's had a kind of a up and down season, but he knows that I can tell he gets excited with the road courses, man. He just loves the road courses. He's very good at them. So I'm expecting to see Shovelhead actually have a really good run as well. And we might, who knows, we might see some surprises tonight, I mean, we might see some surprises. And you've been in the booth up here you've been in the booth here with me in this FRR Cup series a couple of times this season. So you've got a chance to see these guys and watch. So these guys won't be new to you, but but for some guys, they're new all the way around. That we're just waiting to get in the lobby now as they're lining everybody up.
I was gonna say they're probably resetting or something like that. I don't know, but
no, they finished qualifying, so they put them in order. And Favre, the champion Favre, defending champion Favre, on the pole tonight. And on the outside pole next to him is going to be that 10 car of Typical. I tell you what, those two guys have been going head to head all season long, man. They've been having some battles all season long. And we're also going to have a new guy. Well, he's not new to FRR, but he's new back to this season, and we're going to introduce him once we get going here in just a little bit. I'm getting the invites here as soon as we get to join. I'm going to send you a couple. I'll send you a couple of the invites. Make sure that you get them.
I have some. I think I have 3 from True Death.
Okay, so True's already sent them to you. Okay, good.
Yeah.
But Flash is starting 4th. Let's see here. Let's see. We have Flash starting as 4th, and Field Filler in 5th. Field Filler, I think Field Filler. He's got a win under his belt this season. He won at Vegas. And he's shown a lot of speed as well at some of these road courses, so he could be a surprise as well. As where the countdown is on, so we'll be joining here in about 10 seconds, and we're gonna go racing at Watkins Glen in the next 10-15 seconds or so. So I hope, are you ready, Nick? You ready to watch this?
Yeah. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right. I think we can join now because I just saw from FRR stream. I think we're good to go.
Yeah, we are good to go. Let's.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. And we got that. And hit the button here. And let's go loading in. And let me go on over to the FRR stream and check in on the comments. My boy Elvin Priest, what's going on, Elvin? Yeah, I know, yeah. Elvin Priest, the owner of Phantom Racing League, Sydney, race with Sydney in the Xfinity Series yesterday. He's another great guy. He's on there. Elvin Priest, I know.
We are. Well, I don't know if you're in, but we are green.
Yep, I'm loading in. It takes me a minute to. I'm an older guy. You know, it takes me a minute. I don't move as well as I should. But yep, we are green and we are underway at Watkins Glen.
Going up the hill they go, and look at this: 2 Fords leading, and then you got 2 Chevys, and then to round out the top 5 is Racer
Rick. That's Racer Rick. All right, as always, let's introduce these guys. Typical way off on the bus bus stop.
Did the 24? I think the 24. I think he has stop and go. Showtime had a stop and go. Probably Flash.
Showtime Flash, and this 24 got possibly a penalty. That could be big. So we're trying to get. Let's as soon as I start the intros, and all kinds of stuff goes on. Starting off with in the first as on the pole, and now out to a good little bit of a lead is Showtime Favre in that number 4 car. Second up it is number 10 in that 10 car. That is typical. Started on the outside pole. He's regathered himself, and he's going to be back up there. He's fighting back already. Next up, here is our new guy in FRR as there's a caution out. We've got a caution out. I believe this might be a manual.
Yep.
Not exactly sure, but as it goes on, we'll get through the field here as JCR Scotty B is back in FRR. He's the new driver that I was speaking of, driving that number 42. And I know Elvin, Elvin, I knew you were going to pick him. And I'm excited to see Scotty B tonight. And the rest of the season. I'm excited to see him all season. He's driving the number 42, and he's already up there in second spot. Showtime Flash in the 24. He started up front and fourth, but he said he got that penalty, so he's back in the field there a little bit, but driving that 24 Exalta Chevrolet. Field filler in the number 5. Always in that number 5. Field filler in that number 5 Chevrolet. He's he's up there in that top 5. Racer Rick in the 34. He's got himself a win this season as well. He does good on the road courses. He could make a surprise tonight. Showtime Hall in the number 9. Good to see Showtime Hall back here in that number 9 car. Love seeing that Napa car on the track in that number 9 Showtime Hall. Hick Ross, here he is in the number 18. Currently in 4th spot already. Qualified well. Already up in the 4th spot. Hick Ross has been having probably the best month and a half, other than typical and Favre, I would say, but probably has had the best past month and a half of any FRR driver that by far. I mean, he's had excellent month and a half. Next up, Mac in the 17. Mac back in the 17. He's going to have a good run tonight. Starting in the rear of the field. True Death in the number 3. True Death, he said he had some speed tonight, but he doesn't know he's going to have a winning car tonight. But True Death, he had a great run last week. So True Death, he's always not one to count out on these road courses. Shovelhead in the 22. This is the guy that I'm anxious to see and see he gets back up now. See, he's kind of a bit further back in the field as we're currently under this manual caution. But Shovelhead in the 22, he's a road course ringer and always one to beat at any one of these road courses. Keep your eye on that number 22 is Shovelhead. Dimebags in the number 1. There's Dimebags, as I was speaking about Dime, in the number 1 car. Here he is, kind of already here, so still in the top 10 in that number 1 car. Look for Dime to have another good run. He's another one that's had a great month and a half himself, trying to keep the momentum going. Mucka in the number 2. There's Mucka driving that number 2. I know he's not bad on the road courses himself. He had a great run last week as well in that number 2. But Mucka driving that number 2. Pennzoil on discount tire Ford. Then we got THC in the 7. I know THC in that 7 car has definitely not had the season that he has definitely wanted. But hey, at a road course, anything can happen for THC. He might even make a surprise. Pittman in the number 11. Everybody knows Pittman. Everybody knows FedEx. Everybody knows Pittman is in that FedEx Toyota. Swerve in the 23. Back in the Swerve. But in that 23 car, driving that McDonald's 23 Toyota. Glad to see Swerve back here in FRR as we're getting set to go green. KB Showtime in the 38. He's currently up there into the front. He's going to be looking to run as we go on green. King G in the 41 as we go back green. King G driving that 41 Haas Ford. And he's looking to have some surprise. He could make a run tonight here at Watkins Glen as they start getting strung out. Danny MD in the 45. Danny MD looks like he's got some damage to the front of that car. He may have been involved in that first manual caution with that damage. And that number 45, Danny MD. That man Perky in the 14. There's Perky. Also has had another really good past month and a half. Usually has to fight his way from the rear to the front. Looks like he was able to qualify tonight, but Perky in that 14 already looks like he's trying to get to the front as he's got some trouble, as he's got Shovelhead all over as Shovelhead makes a pass right there. Back to the front, Showtime Favre out front in the lead as JCR Scotty B in the 42 currently in second, Typical in third, and looks like Field Filler is in fourth with. So that's our top 4, and was able to actually get through the introductions with not too much of a problem.
He's got this thing so far looking good. Look at Showtime Favre. He is pulling away from Scotty, dude. He is gone pretty much.
I tell you what, he done. I mean, there was one road course. He's won a couple road courses this season. One in particular was Sonoma, and he had Sonoma. I mean, I kid you not, Nick. He could have taken that 4 car and driven it down the mountain and found the nearest McDonald's, gone on and got himself a Big Mac and a Coke, driven back to the track, and he would have still been in first place and won the race. That's how far ahead he was. I kid you not. He had absolutely dominated. But you're right. He has got himself a little bit of a lead over Scotty B, and is currently in second spot with Typical in third. As we kind of take a look back here, as these guys starting to get ironed in a little bit, kind of getting single file, checking in with Showtime Flash. And Showtime Flash started in the 4th position, and you said he caught that penalty, Nick, and he's gonna have to work his way back up through the field. Oh, we got to spin around to 22, and that is Shovelhead. So 22 is Shovelhead, and around in the carousel. Only one car. I'm not sure if this might bring out the caution. He's got some heavy damage, looks like, to the front end of the 22. Got some considerable damage to the 22. I'm not sure what happened. Along with the 18. The 18 of Hickross also with a lot of damage to the front of that car. So that, I'm not sure if those two guys got together. I think that might be what had happened. Trying to see if we get back up here. I'm not sure if a caution has been called or not.
No, we are still green.
We are still green. Yep, we are still green, and Favre still out front and is your leader. As he's
one driver.
Go ahead.
One driver I may have to say I'm going to watch out for is that one car. That beautiful Advent Health car. Oh my God, Diamondbacks, you legend. You chose a legendary number. I am proud of you. I hope to God tonight, if he has a good run tonight, I will be the happiest person to see someone else besides me drive that beautiful Ross Chastain car to victory lane or get himself a top 5 or top 10.
And you're talking about Dimebags in the one car. Yes, Dimebags in the one. And like I was saying, looks like he's got himself a little bit of damage on the front end of that hood as well. But he has had himself a really good past month as well. As I'm not sure exactly where he's positioned. Let me see. I know he got his stream. I can find out where he is because he's streamed. So I get on his stream right now. He's currently in 7th right now. Yeah, he does have quite a bit of damage, not only to the front but also to the rear of that one car. He's got some damage, but currently driving in the 7th position.
This top 3 is pulled away from the rest of the field. They're all in a radius right now. They're all bunched up, and I bet you right now Scotty B is like, please, please, please make one mistake in this first stage and I will get it. Don't worry. Typical's there with him. He's banking on both of them having issues just like that, maybe.
Well, I tell you what, Nick. I mean, Favre is a 3-time champion because very rarely does he make a mistake. And I mean, very, very rarely does he make a mistake. But yeah, I mean, you can see that 42 of Scotty B really shoots through that bus stop, kind of starts to close in on him a little bit, but Favre in the 4 starts to pull away a little bit in that carousel. But you're right, that 10 car is now pulled up side by side with Scotty B in that 42, tucked down behind him.
Favre is loving this. He's like, yeah, okay, y'all keep paddling, keep on paddling. I'll pull away. Oh no!
42
Johnny B hard into the wall.
Off of turn 7, got loose.
Oh man! Oh.
He got loose off of turn 7 and hit the wall hard, and he's got considerable damage. I don't think he saw the 14 coming up on him.
Man. Caution,
and, I think that did bring out the caution. That is bringing out the caution, as we are under a manual caution with that wreck with Scotty B. But you're right that I don't know. He got on the throttle. I'm not sure if he may have wheel hopped it or not, but that 42 got turned around, and he might need himself one of those Goodies headache powders, because he hit that wall head on, and I tell you what, it hurt my head.
Man, I saw it though. You were just mentioning they were battling for that second position. Man, I was like, man, well, if this keeps it up, they're going to be fine for this. Like I said, Favre was hoping those two kept racing like that, because if that happened, he would have been gone, probably already into the. Actually, that might have been the stage.
Was it the stage?
Yeah, it looks like to me. So I think Favre won stage 1. Green flag. I think so. Let me see, because I have Favre's.
No, it was a caution. It was a game caution. The game caution.
Was it? No, they're on stage 2 now. They're on stage 2 now.
They are on stage 2?
Yep, they were on the...
Okay, I didn't even get to, I didn't even see the lap count.
Well, I didn't see that until now. I see FRR's perspective. Scotty B finishes off 5th in the first opening, or in stage 1. So, but look who's back inside the top. I believe that's top 3, and that is Flash.
Yep, Showtime Flash back in 3rd, but look who's in the lead. And that is typical. I get he got the exact inside that he wanted, and had got position and is back in the lead. But you're right, there is Flash back up to 3rd position. And I tell you what, if anybody got lucky, it was that 42 of Scotty B when he hit that wall and brought out the caution, which ended the stage. But you're right, we are now in stage 2, but Scotty B got real lucky because he was able to get into the pits and get that fixed up, and he is still right there running in 4th position.
Just gotta navigate your way through a lot of these corners, and here we go. I'm watching right now. Here comes Typical passing by me here into this inner loop. He has got a good opportunity. He just doesn't need to make mistakes in the second stage. If he doesn't make a mistake, he should have the stage win.
We'll get a lap count at next time by, as Typical has a little bit of a lead on Favre. Looks like he's got maybe about a 4 or 5 car lead on Favre right now as they go on through turn 7 and cross the start finish line, headed into turn 1, as Typical flying around gets it on over there, and Flash stays it on the inside, as Flash now has himself some company in the form of that 42 black rifle car of Scotty B. Scotty B looks like he's starting to pull in that 24 car with these, but these top 4 guys have really started to separate themselves. But back here, right behind these guys, Field Filler just lost a spot to the 14 of Perky. Perky in that 14 is really flying.
Caught up the track, and I believe that's the one of Dimes. He's going to keep her straight off the carousel. What happened to Dimes? He went up the track way wide into the carousel, and he's still rolling. That's something.
And he's got a lot of company with him. He's on the inside of KB Showtime in the 38 and Mac in the 17. Mac makes a pass in turn 6 into turn 7. But you're right, that one car, he's got something going on, as now Pittman goes underneath of him, and Swerve in the 23 looking to make a position. So looks like he may just got out of position and got loose. I don't see any obvious damage to Dimebags in that one car, but maybe he just got a little bit of loose and got out of the throttle. Back up here.
Here we go, bound for lead. Going out of the coming to the carousel.
Oh, Favre, you're right. Oh, Favre has caught him and passed him on the outside.
Wow, that was a spectacular move. Oh my gosh.
That was a power move. What a move by Favre. He passed him on the outside on the carousel. I got a feeling you're going to see the battle between this 4 and 10 all night long, as we are in stage 2. And I'll get a lap count this next time, but I meant to get a lap count that last time, but wasn't able to get it by. As
5 laps to go on stage 2.
There's 5 laps to go. So, as of just like last week, could be one of the shortest races in FRR Cup Series history. As last week we were at Canadian Tire and went real quick because these road courses, not nearly as many laps, but you can't really put on 100% or be here for 3.5 hours. So kind of tick for tack. But you're right, there are 5 laps in stage 2. And right now, these front two leaders of Favre and Typical have set sail from the rest of the field, and have even pulled away from Flash and Scotty B.
You would know they're friends off the track, but on the track, you're enemies no matter what. It don't matter.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They have such respect.
Oh, what a save! Typical. What a save! Oh my gosh.
Getting a little loose, is he?
Oh yeah, I saw him coming up the hill a little bit, and he's getting a little squirrely, but held on to it, but lost some valuable time. Boy, you know that's gonna be. He's probably in his head. He's like, I cannot be having this right now because look how far back I'm from Favre.
And he definitely lost quite a bit of time actually. Not too much time, but as we ride with Typical, as he's trying to catch him back up and going through turn 6 and again approaching turn 7. Favre into turn 7. Typical starts to reel him back in a little bit. And Typical starting to, looks like slowly reeling him in as we pass the start-finish line.
Oh! Did he hit the wall? It looked like he hit his left side. Yeah, I don't know. I thought he went very wide, but man, heck, these guys know how to drive that carousel really well than I do, because I sure as heck don't know how to drive that carousel perfectly. I cannot I can never get the bus stop right. I can never get the carousel right.
It takes practice, man. It takes practice.
It really does.
I'm just now just kind of got the hang of it myself.
I did realize something. I went to Walmart a couple days ago and actually looked at Black Rifle, and I'm like, that's a thing. I thought it was a joke. But then I look at it, I'm like, oh my god, what in the world?
No, that is some super duper coffee, my friend.
I never knew that, dude. I never knew. I thought they were pulling my leg. All right, 2 to go. Pits are closed in the second stage.
Yep, and as you were saying, I was kind of pulled up on Perky, who has moved himself up here. He's in the top 5 as well. He is currently in 5th position.
Like yep. You'd love to see it.
Yeah, he's had a heck of a season, man. He's come so close to so many wins. He won Daytona to start the season. And I mean, he's a guy that, because of his work schedule, he's not able to practice to be eligible to qualify. In FRR Cup Series, that in order to qualify, you have to be in at least one of the practices that they have. There's several practices a week, and you have to be in a practice to be eligible to qualify. But because of his work schedule and his family schedule, it's very hard for him to do that. So just about every week he starts at the rear of the field, and he somehow works his way all the way through the field and gets up to the field, and he does. Oh, as Typical just made contact with the wall there. As we have 1 lap to go, this is the last lap in stage 2. But Perky, man, he goes through this field, and he can get through this field without touching a single car. And he does it all the time. I don't know how he does it, but he does it all the time, having a great run here so far. As we are in 1 lap, less than the last lap, about half a lap left for Favre, as he's got Typical now trying to chase him down. As they are headed around your way, around the carousel, as they're headed now headed towards turn 6. Typical tries to. Yep, Typical tries to make a move. Wants to try to make a move in turn 7.
He's not gonna
be able to make it. As
sweeps the stages.
Able to sweep the stages again.
How about Perky? Hey, he got 4th in the second stage. That's awesome.
It is awesome, man. Perky is great. So Perky was able to get around Flash. So Favre in first, Typical in second, Scotty B in third, Perky in fourth, and Flash in fifth is your top five, with Field Filler in sixth, Shovelhead in seventh, Mucka in eighth, KB Showtime ninth, and Mac in 10th. And my eye, I'm telling you, man, don't count out that 22 car, even though that he had that incident and got dropped back. That 22 car, he is coming, and I guarantee you, with now going into stage 3, he's going to be coming really, really hard. But now, as we get going, now your league gas and go. What nights do you race on, Nick?
We run Friday nights at 8:30. I usually start the party around maybe around 7ish or something. Around, I'm trying to think, like 7, close to 7:45. Well, actually, I start around like 7:30ish, an hour before we get the race in. I have a poll in the league. Whoever signs up, I say this after every Misfits race, after every Thursday. I'm like, okay, who's gonna race? Yes, no, maybe, and however many have the yeses, we take, and then those maybes need to change it before the certain time, and so we take those guys. If they can't make, they'll put in that no, and so sign-ups close at 7:45. If that time happens and you say you're gonna race, then you should have signed up. But we did imply a rule just a couple. Oh, by the way, before anything, we had a lot of guys, and I mean a bunch of guys go off track and like going through that carousel.
Yep, right off on that track, and as we had that restart, and Typical, that was the second time, and Typical, I think he almost wanted to finish second in the stage because it puts him on the inside. As you know, yeah. In this game, when you start on the pole or you start a restart in first, no matter which track, you are on the left side. You're on the left. So Typical finishing second both times in the stages got to start on the inside row, as turn 1 is that sharp right, and both times he's been able to jump out in front of Favre, as now Scotty B in the 42 is right on the heels of Favre, and these guys are putting down some laps, and we've got some stuff there. It's starting to get interesting here up in the front.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Well, Scotty B. Look at Scotty B looking on the inside of Favre now.
Who is he going to make it happen?
Yeah, he's going to go in turn 6. He's going to make the pass in turn 6.
He got him. I think he got him. He did.
Yes, he did.
Scotty B.
He got the pass in turn 6. Now he's going to set his sights on that 10 car of Typical. And don't count out that 4 car of Favre now. Don't count out that 4 car. Look, because he looks like he's strong on the long run. And I don't know if he just may have gotten a little bit loose or just got it out of whack a little bit and was able to get that 42 right up on him. But that 4 car is now pulled right up on the back bumper of Scotty B in the 42. As Typical now, he's going to have company of the 42 here through the bus stop. As they get through the bus stop, as Flash now in 4th position, he's trying to keep up. As Flash, checking in with Flash, he's right here behind. He's not too far back. He's going to lose. He might be losing a little bit of ground. I don't think he has the speed that those guys have, but one mistake and he can have it. Looks like Scotty B was trying to take a little look to the inside there, but Showtime Flash right in
the
4th.
wall just a bit, but he's still going. 20 laps to go.
And that's one of those very rare mistakes that Favre makes. 3-time defending champion here at FRR, as now Scotty B and lead. Typical, they are looking to back each other, as Typical now, he's going to give way and put Scotty B in the lead and on the point.
But don't worry. Oh, don't watch this. This could get ugly. This could get ugly going into the backstretch or into the inner loop.
As they go around the carousel, nose to tail. I'm noticing Typical stays on the track. He doesn't like to take that off that apron part off of the carousel. He stays on the track, whereas generally a lot of guys like to get on that apron part and kind of angle it down. Every time Typical actually stays on the track, and it almost looks like it hurts his speed a little bit. Scotty B, he's starting to put a little bit of distance now, maybe.
Back half of the field, a lot of guys. I mean, a lot of guys are in their own real estate. And they're all just fighting for a spot and just trying to get out of here before traffic.
They go around.
Well, I made an announcement that in our chat. I made an announcement saying, if you haven't raised and if you have a number and you haven't raised, that number is going to be taken away from you, and you're going to get the boot. Because you are wasting a number, and we cannot hold your number for very long, and we're trying to get the season done. So it was my decision. Same with Maddie's, and same when I thought, no, let's make this thing work, because we cannot have a lot of guys have a number and not race, because you should have had the 2022 update like by now. You could have had it now, and you could be racing by now.
And generally, as now Favre is right on the heels of Typical, maybe gave him a little bit of a nudge going through the S's, and Favre now back in front of Typical for second. And I told you that 4-car looked like he had a bit of, and as I was watching him in earlier going, looked like he really had a longer run car, and he's looked like he might have that. He's starting to pull away a little bit from Typical. As now Typical uses that apron and follows those guys up on that apron after the carousel and trying to keep up with the leaders of Scotty B and Favre. Flash right there in fourth, not too far behind. And there's Perky in fifth, and Field Filler now in sixth, as they aren't that too far off. Field Filler having another good run here. Here's Field Filler as he's now trying to run down the fifth position of Perky as they come out turn one, and as they get ready to come through the S's here. We're gonna have to get you some sponsors. We're gonna have to find you a broadcaster for your league guests and go on Friday night, so we can tune in and watch your races from a broadcast. So we're gonna have to find you a broadcaster.
I'm trying my very best, and of course Maddie doesn't. He's like, just worry about this. Just don't worry about. I'm like, well, I need a broadcaster, dude. I'd like someone to broadcast the league, but I have some confirmations that next season that we will be merging with another league, and that will be All-Star Racing League. Us and All-Star Racing League will be combining leagues next season, so it's going to be awesome. I love it. We'll have to tune in. We're going to have to have you back for that. We're going to have to talk about that some more. As I want to check in now with Shovelhead, as Shovelhead now back here in traffic with True Death and Mac in the 17, and he just went out. He had just had to take it behind the wall. It looked like he had the engine failure. And that is big. That is huge. The 22 now is taking it behind the wall. Looked like he had an engine failure. Man,
checking in around.
That hurts, man. That hurts so much.
God, that's heartbreaking, man. Especially for Shovelhead too, man. He's such a great racer, and especially on these road courses. As we kind of check in and around the field, as Hickross now back here with King G and Pittman as they follow in Racer Rick. This is back here further in the field here. And Perky still currently holding on to the 5th spot with Field Filler behind him, and we had a looks like we had what happened to the Flash? Okay, there's Flash right there. There's Flash. I thought something may have happened to Flash. I didn't even see him there. So Flash definitely has lost a lot of ground to those top 3, and might actually be losing some ground to Perky. Perky in that 14 actually looks like he's starting to maybe even catch Flash a little bit. So we're gonna see as we got looks like
15 to go.
14 to go. Now these guys, they're gonna have to make a pit stop, I do believe.
Question is, who's going to be the first one?
We got 14 to go, you're right. 13 to go.
Oh, wow, what a save by Typical.
Typical is really, really loose. That's the second time that he's had to save it, and now he has lost that time. There's the interval now. He was right up there with Scotty B and Favre, and has lost that much time, has lost a couple car lengths trying to get that back.
Looks like Racer Rick is going to be the first one to say, hey, I'm going to make my final pit stop. Let's do it. Because he's the first of many.
So Racer Rick in the 34 down pit road. So this could be the start, and probably might even be making a good call, trying to pull a little bit of a short pit maybe. Taking a look around here as checking in with Mac, who has driven himself up to 9th position. He's having a good run in that 17 car as they got a lot of battling going on. You got KB Showtime in 7th, Mucka in 8th, Mac in 9th, True Death in 10th, and Showtime Hall. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say, I'm so used to saying Hurricane Hall, but Showtime Hall is now up to 11th spot, as these guys have been trading positions almost back and forth, almost been like, yeah, they changed underwear, I guess.
These guys don't want to pit yet because they are all worried. Because now the thing is, you got to have that money stop. Don't want to make that bad mistake going on the pit road, or having speeding penalty, or losing that track position.
Well, they're gonna have to pit in the next couple of laps, because with their fuel cell, they probably only have maybe about 2 or 3 at the most of fuel left. 2 or 3 laps at the very, very most.
King G's on pit road. I believe, who else was that on pit road? True Death on pit road. Like I said, you don't want to be that first guy to pit, because if you're that first guy, you're like, oh man, why did I do that?
Well, it could work out for you on the short pit sometimes.
That's true.
On a short pit, but on these road courses, and here comes all the leaders.
Oh!
Here goes all 3 of the leaders.
Wow, wow! I bet you that one of them was so lucky they didn't get a penalty on that one. But here comes the rest of the that's the top 6.
Yep, the whole top 6 coming in. Yeah, I knew that they was coming by. I knew they were just about the end of their fuel window.
Now the question is, what do you do? Do you take fuel? Do you take right sides? What do you do?
Oh, I'm taking 4. I'm taking 4.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I've done this before, and I think I've taken right sides before, and I've still had faster. I'm still doing all right, but that's with the other cars. Here comes the 42 off of pit road, and 5 off of pit road. Holy Toledo! That's what he needed. Exactly planned.
And
that was.
Yep, you're right. That four team, they did their work. They got they earned their paycheck, and they got that 4 car back out in front of the 42. Good call on that, Nick.
Now the question is, how long can he hang on? That's the thing.
Well, if he can hang on for about 11 or 12 more laps, he'll have himself a checkered flag.
Let's see, because we're coming to the start-finish line. So they are coming to 10 laps to go this time by. So 10 laps to go. It's either hang on tight for 10 more laps, or just hold your breath. You better hope for no caution, because if we have a caution, that changes a lot.
Oh, that could change everything. That could change everything. Just like we saw in the Xfinity race, the real Xfinity race yesterday. I'm not sure if you saw that, but and you got all them guys bunched together, boy. Oh man, they took off the gloves but put on boxing gloves because they were really going at it.
Oh yeah. Whoa, a little too wide for typical. If you're typical, you need to stay as close as you can, because if these two make a mistake, you have that shot. You have the opportunity of making it to win if these two make a mistake.
Yep, and the question is, and you're absolutely right, typical could be in that catbird seat as we come to 9 to go as they cross this stripe. That, with Scotty B, it makes it, and looks like these guys are kind of setting it up to get to the end here, almost a little bit, as they go around that's not a little bit of lap traffic there, but kind of just holding steady right now as typical now pulls right up on the 42, but almost kind of holding steady a little bit to get to the end to see who makes the move first, because if somebody's going to make a move.
Like that. Yep, right there. Oh! That's what Scotty B didn't need. That's what he didn't need, but...
Yep. And he it just slipped up just a little bit, and Typical was right there and took advantage. And now...
This could be interesting. Like I said, they are teammates. They could be teammates in real life, but on track, there ain't no teammates on the track.
Well, now does that put Scotty B in the catbird seat as Typical now with 8 to go, as he now is trying to run down Favre, and he is in the back seat of Favre right now practically. But with those two guys running 1-2, if they get contact and they end up going around, and you're Scotty B sitting there in third, you could be sitting right in that catbird seat and just cruise right on around them and take the checkered flag if something like that were to happen, which is very likely here because this track is not very wide. It is not. I mean, there's very little room to pass. You have to really set up your passes and really try to outbrake the guy in front of you and get a nose up underneath of there. But I'm telling you what, I mean, Favre, he's a champion for a reason, and I tell you what, he is not just going to give it up. I can promise you that. As we now have got 7 laps to go here at Watkins Glen.
Here he comes. He's Not in the Chargers, but I think something happened to Typical. He's now lost some time on that one, but I don't know. He still has 7 laps to make that happen. He needs, again, I know you said it, but he needs Favre to make one little mistake to get there. But I don't think Favre is going to make that little mistake. I think he's got it made.
I'm not sure about that because of Scotty B in the 42, he's catching back up to them both. He's starting to reel both of them in as they start coming up to turn 6 and going to turn 7. He's starting to close in back in, so we might be having another 3. These 3 guys just been battling since the very first lap. But here comes Favre as he crosses the line. And we have 6 to go.
Laps to go. Yeah. Now you gotta do is you should know where his braking points are now. You just gotta outsmart him in that carousel on the inner loop and the carousel. You gotta know where. Oh, don't leave the door open. Don't do that. Oh boy.
Stop. And this is where you do not want to make a mistake.
No, sure you do not, because that, like I said, you just cannot have that one mistake. If it's in the bus stop, if it happened in stage 1 and 2, that's fine. That was for the stages. But now, no, you cannot have that right now.
Well, it looks like it might come down here to these 2 guys. As Scotty B now looks like he's lost a little bit of time now to these guys. Now Favre in that 4 car, man, he just gets faster and faster as the run goes on. As we now have 5 laps to go.
Yep. Oh, but you know what the thing is? How much can they make it on gas, because it's a fuel saving race?
No, they're good to go. When they made that green stop pit, that's why these guys literally drove the tank dry, is because when they made their pit stop, they're good to go to the end. Now, if they went into overtime, if a caution came out and they went into overtime, then they would have to make some pit stops, and then things are going to get really, really interesting. But these guys, all these guys, these 3 guys here, these 3 leaders, they have enough to make it to the end. Favre now starting to put a little bit of space between he and Typical as they cross the line now with 4 laps to go.
Interesting. Top 3 have pulled away from the rest of the field. They've been, like you said, they've been the class of the field.
Yeah, since the start, they really have.
Now looking back at Showtime Flash, he is not even near them. He is now he is right now entering the bus stop right now, and he is just like, man, at least a good top 5 will do for me tonight.
He'll take the top 5 and take the points, but you're right. As he's top 3, and even Scotty B, he's just lost. He just is not able to reel these real Typical and Favre back in. But as we cross the stripe, we've got 3 laps to go.
Anything can happen.
And we certainly have seen it time and time again. Here in FRR Cup Series, anything can happen. If it's gonna happen, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen here in the next 2 laps.
Whoa, Scotty B, what a sliding and saving effort onto the bus stop. Unbelievable.
He's got a lot of damage. He's got a lot of damage.
Oh man, you got lap traffic ahead right now. That's going to be a playing factor probably.
That could very well. Oh, Typical gets in position.
Two to go.
Typical's got position to go into turn 1, and Favre.
Not enough. Oh!
Favre found another gear, is able to take it back.
Unbelievable.
Well, we got 2 to go.
That was insane. Holy Toledo.
But you're right, they're coming up on some lap traffic really, really quick. That could play a factor as we're only coming through the bus stop.
Oh, don't hit the grass. Keep it straight. You're doing... I bet you his spotter in his ear is telling him, you don't have to just run your race. Let him make mistakes.
As THC in the 7 and King G in the 41.
Man, don't do that. Oh,
trying to get out of the way.
What a move! That could have been bad.
Seven's around. The 7 just spun around. He accidentally spun because he was just wanted to get out of the way. As
white flag.
White flag is out. 1 lap to go for these guys. Favre in the lead. Typical in second. As they get ready to come through the S's. Scotty B in third. Flash is in fourth. It's going to come down. It's going to come, unless something serious happens, it's going to come down to one of these 2 guys, Favre and Typical, as they get ready to approach the bus stop now. Through the bus stop.
Don't make this mistake tonight. You got to make it happen. Here we go. It's the carousel right there.
Took it wide.
Oh, is he going to give a bumper?
The 4 took that wide. The 4 Favre went a little bit too wide. The 10 tries to get possession on him.
It back.
Not able to get under position.
Coming into 6.
Coming to turn 6.
Does he have enough? A bump, a nudge?
And the 4 is going to block that bottom. The 4 blocks that bottom.
He left the door open. He hit
the defense.
Typical
wins. Typical's going to win at Watkins Glen.
Can you believe it? Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever... Oh my gosh. Oh man, that's the mistake Favre did not need all night.
We'll have to... I can't wait to bring these guys in the booth. But Typical, your winner here at Watkins Glen. Favre in second. Scotty B in third. Showtime Flash in fourth. Perky in fifth. Field Filler comes home sixth. Mucka in 7th, Hurricane Showtime Hall in 8th, True Death in 9th, and KB Showtime rounds out the top 10. But what an incredible finish. Probably one of the best finishes of all season long.
Oh, Scotty B finished 10th. So that means Mac finishes off third.
No, Scotty B finished third. Scotty B finished third.
Check Favre. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Yep, so sorry. I went back far enough. I went quality. My fault. My fault. So sorry, guys.
Hey, trust me, man. You're allowed to. I've made many a mistake. Last week, I called it. Last week I said it was on the last. I don't know. It was last week, the week before. I called called the white flag out. 1 lap to go, and I was a lap off. They still had 1 more after that. But,
well, I was looking back because Favre just ended his. I was like, oh, okay, so. Oh, I didn't see that. So, my apologies, guys.
We're gonna have to bring these. Can't wait to bring these guys into the booth. And talk about that. That was one incredible finish on the last turn at Watkins Glen and turn 7. Oh man. So give me 1 second, folks, as I get these guys on in here. So, that's right now go all the way down to the bottom. Hey, True, can you invite Scotty B, because I don't have Scotty B on my friends list. Appreciate you. Waiting for it to kind of load. Alright, there's stop being typical. Always has to make it tough for me and be all the way at the very, very bottom. And there he is, got him. Okay, so there's the invite sent to typical.
Things over there. When you go to settings, go all the way down to broadcast. I think that's it. Captures. And when you go to captures and broadcast, you go to broadcast and then make sure audio is on. I think that's how it is. Yeah, it's on right there. Videos. Oh yeah, we gotta stop broadcasting real quick. Can you find it? Let me get on YouTube and make sure we can hear you.
All right, and we are back. We got the top three up in the booth. JCR, Scotty B, back in FRR, in the 42 Black Rifle, coming home in third. Congratulations, man. What a heck of a race. We knew it was real close. Now, you know, on the beginning there, you had that little slip up. I mean, your luck had to have been on your side when you had that spin and hit the wall right there at the end of stage one. I mean, what was going through your mind when that happened?
Everything that can burn up has burned up.
I don't think, nobody's gonna hear you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't think, nobody's.
Okay, yeah.
Scotty, tap the PlayStation button, tap it, and then go down to that little speaker down there, or the microphone, one of the two.
I got y'all. I'm on the comments. See it.
No, tap it. And then broadcast options. Okay, there we go. Display chat, display activity. Okay, video. No, tap it. Let me turn this down. Okay. Anybody got a PlayStation 5 can know where to turn his mic on?
Go and start a broadcast. Like on YouTube, if you have your YouTube connected to it. And yeah, so, but you gotta go and do something else, so, because I was having trouble with the longest time for this, so you hit broadcast, you hit go live.
The share button, like on broadcasting.
And then you hit go live. And then after you're broadcasting, go back in like you're going to start another broadcast. Click on, like the. Here, I'll just start another one. We're currently in a part.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So hit yes. It's going to start another one, or it's going to start one, and then it says now broadcasting, but you're still not able to hear yourself, so go like you're starting another broadcast. Hit broadcast. Where it says 0 people watching and the timer, click on that. Yep.
Well, I'll give us a check 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you got your JCR teammates clashing and JWoww in the chat, and they said that the fans want to hear Scotty. So, give a check. Yeah, can you guys hear him now? JWoww Clash, can you hear him? They said nope. Oh man.
That's the only way I know how to change it. That's how I change mine.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Well, I tell you what, Scotty, man. You know. Okay. Well, I mean, you had such a heck of a. You had. Well, man, I'm trying to I'm trying to think. I don't have PlayStation 5. I have the 4, so I'm not exactly sure, but I mean, you certainly deserve the podium, and always want to bring you on up here, man, and because you certainly deserve it. You had one incredible race, man. And it's a pleasure to meet you. I haven't ever had a chance to meet you myself, man. So it's a pleasure to meet you the first time, man. And you just had one. You had one heck of a race, man. You almost had it. But congratulations on getting third. And this week, we'll if need to do a test or anything like that.
I think I got him right. I think I found it. Scotty, hold down your PlayStation Smoke, go to settings, go to sound, go to microphone. Yeah, no, go to microphone. And then make sure your microphone status when logged in is on. And microphone status when starting voice chat or broadcast don't change. Send mine over for some of the website. Find it. Yeah, no. Yeah, go to sound. When you go to sound, go to microphone, and then make sure it's microphone status when logged in is on. Okay. Okay, and then the one below it don't change. Okay. Alright. We'll get you straightened out somehow I'll look it up.
Yep.
Congratulations to the top 3 though. Awesome race. Thank you all to all the drivers on track tonight. Only one caution. Awesome. See you next week.
It was a heck of a race, man, and Scotty, your your JCR teammates, JWoww, good friend of mine as well, and his sense of humor. He says he's your PR guy, and he said that Scotty had the a fast number 42 car, and no more questions need asking. He said that. He said he'll do with that. He'll make that work. But we'll get you. Make sure you get set up so when you get back up here, man, you deserve these interviews, man. So we'll make sure.
Join me in the party chat.
Yep.
I got one more option that might get you through it, but I want to get let them do the broadcast, and we'll get you straight right now. Yeah, okay. And I'm gonna get you in a party chat and show you this next one.
Okay. Yeah, and let's bring in the second place finisher, the man Favre. Good Lord, man. Good Lord. You gotta talk. You gotta give us this. What in the world happened on that last turn?
I knew what he was trying to do. I knew he was going to cross me over. So I tried just to get as good of a run as I could, and I hit the gas too early, and I smacked the wall a little bit, just trying to keep the momentum up. But I slid the car too much. He just had too good of a run. But he was driving really aggressively the last couple of laps. I mean, I get it. He's trying to fight for a win, but he moved me a couple of times. So I know it's for Watkins Glen and it's for bragging rights, but I mean, he passed me clean on the end. That one was my fault. So, I mean, he would have got the win. But, I mean, I know I had a good car. I know Typical had a good car, and I knew Scotty had a good car. So I knew it was going to be a good battle. Yeah, I got a sour taste in my mouth after this one. This one stings.
I can tell, man. I can hear it in your voice, man. Especially, how fast of a rocket that you had, and it certainly looked like that you had your car just got faster and faster on the long runs. That you had it really set up for the long run.
Yeah, it was. I started off running mid to high 106s, and then at the end of the run, I was hitting consistent. Or I'm sorry, 105s, and then at the end of the run, I was hitting consistent low 105s. So the car turned better later on in the run. It was just my mess up for sliding the car too much in the final turn.
Well, hey man, it's still one hell of a race, and finishing second, man. That's a hell of a job, man. You're the reigning 3-time FRR Cup champion. I can tell it in your voice, man. But hey, you had nothing to be down on. You had a hell of a race, and you got the playoffs coming up too, man. And that's where it really, really is gonna come on down to play, man. Congratulations on getting second place, man. And we'll see you next week at Daytona.
Appreciate you guys. Good win time.
Always. And let's bring in the winner of the race tonight, and that is in this 10 car yet again, and that is Typical. The guy Typical. Another win, Typical. I mean, you have just been on an absolute tear.
Yeah, man.
I mean, congratulations, man. I mean, so go through, kind of go through it, man. I mean, it looked like it looks like you almost lost it a couple of times. I mean, it was did you have it set up almost a little too loose? It almost a couple of times that you almost got it sideways a couple of times there.
Yeah, no, I didn't make any changes to my car after the practice races, and I never really got loose. But these aprons tonight were really catching me off guard. Had a couple close calls, especially in turn one. That turn just kept screwing me over.
Well, I mean, you, Scotty B, and Favre obviously were the class of the field by far. And the question I kind of wanted to ask also was how the game starts it out with on the restarts at the end of the stages. The first place car is actually on the left, and the second place car is on the right. And so you actually have the inside track on turn one, and both times in stage 2 and stage 3, you were able to take advantage of that. So was that almost kind of a little bit of a strategy there to actually want to finish second to get that spot, or did you not really care about that?
No, I wasn't even thinking about that. I know in the second stage, Class 9 was on the outside, and he can't drive it as hard as Favre could on the outside, and I was able to get clear of him. But I think I snuck in right behind Favre in the third stage. But yeah, no, I'd rather be on the outside than the inside for sure.
Yeah. On that last, that last turn and turn 7, man, when did it kind of surprise you when the 4 car kind of slid up a little bit and opened the door? Did it almost kind of surprise you when you saw that opening?
Yeah, usually you don't see that kind of mistake by Favre, so yeah, it definitely caught me off guard. But I'm glad. Well, I'm not glad he did it, but I am glad he did it because it opened the door for me. He kind of smacked the wall. But yeah, coming to that last lap, I got to him in the carousel. He kind of got under the apron on the end of the bus stop, and he kind of stood up in front of me, and I wasn't really expecting it to, and it kind of hooked us both. It pushed us both up the track, and I got to his inside, but he ended up clearing me anyway. So.
Congratulations, Typical, on getting another win, and of course, the regular season championship. Even though that we'll finish the regular season next week at Daytona. Congratulations on the win again, my friend. You're having one heck of a season, man. I can't wait to get the playoffs started for real.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for the playoffs, man. This season has been way better than I ever thought it would be for my rookie season, and yeah, this one tonight is a really special one to me because I was informed after the race last week that I haven't won a road course in FRR, so finally I can get that done out the way.
Well, congratulations, man, on getting the win, and I want to say thank you to all you guys out there tuning in and all that you guys having the comments, going back and forth, we are nothing without you guys watching and liking everything. So we really appreciate. Want to say thank you guys all, tuning in and watching the broadcast. Want to thank Nick 2019 champ for joining me up here in the booth. He's the owner of a new league called Gas and Go, Next Gen Slider League, every Friday night at 8:30. Check those guys out, man. They have some really, really good races. And Nick, I want to say thank you for joining me up in the booth tonight.
Yeah, no problem. Great racing, guys.
Absolutely, man. And we're going to see everybody next week. We're going to go do some more plate racing at Daytona. So thank you all again for watching. And finally, once again, Typical your winner on a last turn pass, Farvan second, and the new guy, JCR Scotty B, comes home in third. Want to say thank you to all, and everybody have a wonderful night.